now being recorded, and so this is where all the stupid things are, yeah, forever now. All right, so let me get into showing you guys about Dropbox and how to share documents and things between your devices, because I had the same thing. I think I'll just go into the desktop. And I know that there's, always going to be lots of variations of, so this is my, between, Mac and PC. I've gone.
Yeah, because you know what? Yeah, there are apples and oranges, Macs and PCs.
Kind of, yeah.
But they're closer now than they used to be.
Yeah, exactly. And I find, because I've had to be cross-platform from being a public school teacher with ancient computers in the public school system, and then at home having nicer computers because felt it was important, as an artist to have them. Yeah, so this is my messy desktop, and you can see all the things I'm kind of working on, or some of them at least, and as well as your work too. And then if I don't know if you guys can see my cursor, if I go up to the top of the screen, if I'm going to move the zoom.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, if I go to the top of the screen, this is my Dropbox thing. Okay. And I'm just going to hit on the folders, and you can see how I just have all of my projects kind of, I've got a lot of stuff in here. So, and a lot of projects and blah, 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 blah. And if you want, you can change it to the icon thing, and you can also search. So if I want to do IGG, or whatever search I want to do, let's say portfolio. I actually don't do the, and then these are all blah, blah, blah. I actually just really, for me, what works best is just being alphabetical, and then if I want to put something at the top, I'll just number it. So, these are the things. And then if I find myself, like you can see Nash's is number 3. It looks like I've got 2 3s. But I'll put, if I find, like, let's say I've got a project for way down here, I don't know, birds of a feather, for example, and let's say they contact me and they want me to do more work, then I'll just put a number in front of it, and then it'll pop up to the top. But they also have seems like they found a way too, like you can, they've done some things that I find a little confusing, that I think they claim, like, so for example, if I want to make my apps always at the top, I can do that. And now I'm like, how do I do that? There we go, unpin. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Then the other thing is that if I want to have it look like, this is something that I only learned recently. For many years now, I thought that when I put things in Dropbox, that it was being stored in the cloud, right? Because I could access everything. So like if I put it on my computer at home, then I'd go into school and I would be able to pull it, go and log into Dropbox, and I could pull it from my school computer. So I just thought it was in the cloud. No, what it is apparently it was still on my computer, but it was uploading and downloading. Worked really fast and really good. Right. But then I kind of ran into running on my computer, running out of a lot of memory on my computer. This is something that screwed me up just last week, where my hard drive was almost full. And that's where I found out.
Hey, you can have an external,
Oh, I do, and it's
they're not too expensive now.
No, I actually have 5 external hard drives, and I've got a really big one.
Okay.
But so anyway, I discovered that I had all these things that I thought were in the cloud and not on my computer were actually in Dropbox. So what you have to do, and this is important, is you have to go into the folder. So like for portfolio, go into Smart Sync. So what I did is I right clicked on portfolio. I went into Smart Sync.
Can I back up for a second?
I back everything
Don't
up.
lose that thought.
I also back it.
All right, don't lose that thought.
Yeah, I'm like obsessed.
No, wait. But first you have to have a Dropbox account, right? You have to go into what? Dropbox.com and make an account and stuff?
Yeah. And
Is that what you do?
Yeah, so let me show you. This is the software that I've downloaded Dropbox so that it can have this little widget on my computer, like at the top bar like this. But for example, when I go into school, the school, they didn't want me or anybody to mess with their school computers, which were totally crap anyway. But I get it. I get it.
So,
right? So
you have
to, Karen, I'm going to answer you here.
You have to download.
You can, or if you don't want to do that, you just go into Dropbox.com on the browser, and it will. This is where you guys get to see how slow my internet is right now. But basically, I would go onto the browser on the website, and I could access all my folders from the browser, which was nice. I like using the widget on the computer. But I could, wow, any day now it's going to load. And I have widgets on my, or apps on the thing. And then, yeah, and in my case, it's logged me in automatically. But if you're like, I don't know, if you're, depending on how you set it up, like for example, if you're at the library, you wouldn't want to have that automatically. So, I just have like a login and a password kind of thing for that. And yeah, now, and you guys can get, what I would suggest doing is get a free account. In fact, I used the free account for quite a few years before I sprung for the more, before I sprung for this one. Now, for Diane, and actually for both of you guys, let's do this. Let me set up a folder, and let's see if we can share the folder. So, and because the web browser is so slow, but you can see this is all the same stuff, organized a little bit different, but it's pretty easy, and so there's that. Yeah, and so you can see how this looks. So on the left is my web browser, and on the right is from the widget, and they're the same. They should be the same. They're generally, unless sometimes if I'm uploading a really huge file, like at home, I was working on a big project for Nash's for their billboard, so I would be uploading it from home, and then I'd go into the store, and it would still be uploading, even though, because it was freaking huge files. So, yeah. So there's that. So let's do create new file, and let's do a new shared file. Here we go, new shared folder. Also, Dropbox has a lot of things that I haven't even explored. I just use it to store my documents, and that's kind of it. I feel like it's kind of asking for more things than I really, or can do more things than I've even explored. And since and I could tell from my little spinning thing, I'm gonna try using the widget instead and see if I can do this. And it feels like they're adding all this stuff that I'm not. And this will kind of show you too. So if I go into new folder onto my desktop, and I'm going to call this Shady shade shared. Okay. And I can just drag it into onto the thing. And then I can invite you guys to share. So, and invite members.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna see, it's Woodled. There you are. And then Karen. Ooh, I could be really evil, invite everybody who's not here right now. Honestly, this is something I've been meaning to do for a while. Then we'll move into cooler stuff soon. Where did I go?
I'm trying to get in my account and messing around with that.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what my password is.
Let's see. So, just kind of. So, ooh, you know, one thing I don't like about this though, it doesn't. I want to do like BCC, you know, or like I don't want to like have people see their each other's emails, because I try to keep that confidential. So I'm going to do that through Gmail instead,
Right.
not Dropbox. I don't think anybody would care, but I don't know. It would be a good question for like.
Right. Well, I'm not looking, so.
You know. So now I got it going through here. I'm going to close a couple of these windows. Anything to save bandwidth right now. How are you guys doing? This is probably like watching paint dry right now.
I'm trying to get in my account, and I used to have AOL, and so I tried that, but it actually is on my Gmail, which means I must have used it within the last couple of years. And now I see I have photos. I've got wedding pics. I got different stuff in there, but I don't know how to organize and fix it up and make it right. So
yeah, I do.
I'm just going to see what they have in there.
Yeah, that's why I like Google Photos, because I can just do a search. Like, so for example, I've been working on a project that's involves eagles. And so, and it gets all mixed in with all the other things. But if I do a search for eagles, then all my images are on that. All right, so I'm gonna do this to, and then.
I have a message from somebody I don't know, some Larry guy.
Is he hitting on you?
Thanks. I'd like to hear the CD to save some time. Peace, Larry. I'm going to erase it. I have no idea. It's probably from a long time ago.
Let's see if I can do it. There we go.
Funny, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like so suspicious.
I don't even have a date.
Anybody is who they, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Please click on the link and put your images into Dropbox.
Why do you delete this shit? Delete. I'm going to delete that, but I don't know how to do it. I don't even know who it is.
Let's see.
Weird.
Okay, so we'll see. So now you guys should have a link to this folder so that you can, and we'll see how that works from that end. True confessions, I've never gotten a client to agree to do this with me with Dropbox. They're like, I'm like, come on now, and they're like, no. You know, same thing with me in Evernote. I'm like, and they're like, no. They're a lot more polite than I'm making it sound, but that's how I feel inside. Okay. Shared folder.
Oh, there's a getting started PDF. Maybe I should read that sometime.
Yeah.
So,
In your spare time. All right. So now I've emailed everybody.
yeah.
And everybody's going to be like, I'm going to be like, well, you guys weren't here for the Wednesday session, so this is what you get. So there's that. Yeah, and this is where you can see how slow my videos are with loading. All right, now, this is a really handy thing for everybody, this next thing, which is how to, you know, Karen, I run into the same thing. In fact, let me take it off of the share screen or something. There we go. All right, so Karen.
I'm looking at my wedding photos.
Yeah. Oh God. Well, it must be a blast from the past. All right. So what I run into is is that I'll take a. Are you there, Karen? It's me, Margaret.
Yeah.
Okay. You know that book, Judy Bloom. Hey. So what I'll do is I'll take a picture on my phone, right? And I'll need to do something with it on my computer or my iPad, right? And my phone has a better camera than, you know, either of those other things, or for whatever reason. And what's supposed to happen is over time, Google Photos will sync up with, you know, and I, in theory, eventually will be able to access that picture from Google Photos, you know, blah, blah, blah. But,
wow.
But sometimes, just like, especially if it's a video, frigging forget it. Like, I wound up having to go to like Peninsula Tap Room to get a video to sync that was like 5 minutes long. That was at my Aunt Annie's 75th birthday, and it was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
And all the relatives wanted it, and they were all screaming at me for it. And I'm like, I'm still waiting for it. I'm still trying. My internet sucks. And I'd be like, well, we need that because, you know, because the birthday cake it was one of those family moments where like the birthday cake sort of disintegrated in front of us. And then somehow some of it flew off and wound up on me. And I don't even know what happened. And we weren't that drunk, so I also don't know why. It was this sort of epic, huge birthday cake that my cousin Barbara made with like, so they all wanted this. So, and especially like if I film a video, you know, I use my phone to film videos of demos and stuff. Well, we can't wait 6 months for that to do that. So how do you get around that? And this works whether you're going from your computer to your phone to your iPad. So let me get back into my desktop, and let's say this is exactly what I use this for. All right, so you can see on the bottom right-hand corner, Diane's lovely painting of cherries. And I couldn't get that on my iPad, you know, so because I want to, you know, blah, blah, blah. Because of the funky setup. So what I do is I right click it and I go into share. I go into AirDrop, and you want to make sure your phone or like everything has to be on Wi-Fi to do this, and Bluetooth. So Wi-Fi and Bluetooth need to be on. So then I go into share, I go into AirDrop, and now it's showing my iPad, right? But it's not showing my iPhone because I don't have my iPhone turned on. So I'm going to turn on my iPhone, and hopefully this will show up, you know. I'm going to check. Oh, you know what's funny? Because I turned off the Bluetooth earlier because it was interfering with the headphones. So it should hopefully show up in a sec.
I tell you, what a world, eh?
Yeah. All right. And now you see my iPhone. So, you know, and so
I can see it.
I can send it to either either one. And it goes the other way. And, so when I'm on my iPhone, and let me do it the other way. I see the husband cat in the background. It's like running through there.
Bye.
Hey, good to see you, man. And let's see. Let me go into. I'll show you this. Would it be more helpful for me to show you this on my iPhone or on my iPad to go the other way?
Well,
Or
the
both?
iPad, of course, is larger, but no, for me, at least it's getting some familiarity with it. I won't really understand it until I go on there, and I'll make it a point to
To do
use Google Photos now and also hook up my Dropbox. At least now I got into Dropbox and I see I had some stuff in there. And I understand what you're saying, but I'm not going to fully understand it until I'm doing it myself. You know?
Totally. And if we want to like mess around with that on another class or on Friday happy hour, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's cool too.
yeah, I can show you on my. I think what I'll do is I'll show this on my iPhone. And Diane, are you on an iPhone or on an Android?
I'm on an Android.
Okay. I used to have an Android.
PC Android material.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a problem with the Android.
I like them because on the iPhone you can't USB the iPhone, but you can an Android.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. And this is where I'm kind of embarrassed because I've never done this on the. I thought I could kind of do this with the. I'm looking for the.
You should see what I'm doing. I mean, I'm sitting here with my iPhone and got Dropbox on, and I don't know how to even delete a file on this thing.
Yeah, I'm not seeing how to. You know what? I'm like, I've never done this with a. There's the thing that I was hoping would work that works on the iPad is not working on the iPhone, so I'm going to go on. I'm going to show you this on my iPad because it's pretty much the same. And I don't want to not waste, but I don't want to spend more time on this than we absolutely have to. There we go. Okay, so this is my iPad. It's pretty similar, but it's very similar to the iPhone. I mean, honestly, the main difference is the screen is smaller on my iPhone. All right, so if I go into Google Photos, oh shit. This is a good example of a quirk. All right. Google Photos is trying to protect my privacy because they know that I'm going to probably have something incriminating on my,
Yeah.
Oh, and it looks like
yeah. That's it.
So let me see if I can there we go. But apparently the photos album doesn't care about it. So it doesn't care about my privacy so much. So if I go into recents and let's see. Oh, there's something incriminating. Yeah, this guy sent me that picture. Okay. So if I want to share that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Who the heck is that?
I think he's a catfish. I don't think he's real. But he has a wonderful French accent, and he's in London, so that's no good to me whatsoever. So if I go, but I clicked on his photo, I go into share, I go into AirDrop.
Is he the one that's sending you some DPs?
Sending me what?
DPs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's nice. This is one that's good to see. So then I share it to them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But they're actually wanted DPs, and he asked permission before he sent it, so that was okay.
I haven't seen one in a long time.
I still think he's fake. I think he's a model. I'm probably talking to like a guy who's, in 78 and weighs 300 pounds. I'm very sure of that. So, and probably
Oh
looks,
yeah, yeah.
I'm probably talking to some guy that looks like Jabba the Hutt, right? But so I think he's not real. I think this is a
Yeah.
model that he's just pulled.
And
to the model.
jerking off as he's talking to you.
Yeah. All right. Let me let Savannah into the
Yeah.
wait. Okay. Savannah's gonna be joining us now. I'm like, hi Savannah. You can just
Okay, I'll be quiet.
but it's recorded. Oh great.
Oh no.
Hey Sam.
Hi, I'm sorry I'm late. I went to REI to get some hiking boots, and then it took so long because they had all these weird regulations and I had to wait in a bunch of lines, and
Oh
then
my
there was
gosh.
traffic on the way back, so I'm sorry.
No, I'm glad you're here, and it's funny. We were just really covering really boring computer stuff. I was showing them some things about how do you share pictures between your devices, and how do you use Dropbox and all that. So, I don't know if I tend to assume because are you a Generation Z? What are you? Or millennial? What are you?
Yeah, Gen Z.
Okay, so
Gen Z.
So
Well, they have to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this, you could probably do a better job of teaching this stuff than I am right now. I just but I will show you.
And I'm pretty computer savvy, but
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're getting there.
So I had to be on my office.
Yeah. And in the interest of being inclusive, I'll show you a picture of a guy that I think I'm being catfished. I don't think he's real. So I think probably somebody through Facebook is sending me pictures of himself. And probably the real guy is 78 and looks like Jabba the Hutt. But I do enjoy the pretty pictures that he's been sending me. So let's see. And so there. Yeah. I'll do a reverse lookup and make sure that's a male model or something. And then look up the male model. But so that's what's going on.
Oh wait, I don't think.
Oh, it's not working. Oh.
Oh. Okay, it's working.
Oh, okay. Maybe there's okay.
Yeah, that's funny.
I know. Yeah, so there's that. That was the most exciting thing in our class.
When he sends you,
he's French and he lives in London.
When he sends you pictures, are they when he sends you pictures, are they slightly different? Does the person look like a different person sometimes?
No,
they're not all the same guy.
No, they've been really consistent that way. So he's at the very least, Jabba the Hutt is sticking with the same model. And I'd like to find out who this male model is because he's pretty cute. Yeah, so that's the latest bit of silliness on that. Yeah. And probably better suited for your age than mine. So, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't think so.
No, he's too old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, too old.
Well, and you don't want to date somebody who's, hitting on, your auntie list through the internet. That's not good at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be weird.
Totally weird.
That'd be not a. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I've met a lot of people online, so I'm experienced what's going online, and I've seen all kinds.
Yeah, I don't think I'm beginning to suspect the person who's real to me is the exception, not the rule. I tend to assume most of the people online are fake, rather than, well, and I'm in a weird position because
the ones I've made friends with,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, the ones I've gone out with or made friends with. I married one, and my boyfriend of 6 years is another. They were the real deal on the pictures. So
yeah. Well,
and they weren't sending me parts of their body, so
but that's
gotta watch out for that too.
Well, yeah. So yeah, they had taste. They had style and taste. So there's that too.
Yeah.
All right. Anywho,
Yeah.
so we get into some art before Savannah reports me to my big brother. Because yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I'm like, Savannah, you're gonna have so much dirt on me by the end of this.
I know. I still have to go to one of your stand-up things.
Oh,
I know.
I don't think I would recommend that.
I have to. I'm 18 now.
Yeah. Oh,
How old are you?
I'm 18.
For real?
yay!
Is she
Yeah.
18, Liz?
I am 18.
Yeah, so she can go to my
Okay.
stand-ups. My whole
Okay.
family's kind of edgy. Like, it's probably nothing you haven't heard, right? You know?
I don't want to go with anybody else from the family there. I want to go like just by myself.
Okay. And you
I
can
think that would be really awkward if like Oma were there.
actually, Oma
Sorry, what?
did see me perform once, but she made me promise to not talk about sex. So I didn't, except to say that the worst thing I did was I said that I got up and I told the audience that my mom's here, so I couldn't talk about sex, but I didn't understand why she wouldn't let me because I'm here because she had sex. So it kind of backfired a little bit. You know, and I said I was really not turned on anymore because, you know, it's gross, my mom, you know. So I mostly talked about dogs, and that there's a lot to talk about with dogs. Yeah, it looks like I lost Karen really quick. All right, so let me get back into into the iPad.
Yeah, I have to delete like a zillion things.
Okay.
On my phone.
Yeah, you're probably getting rid of all those DPs.
I don't have them. You're the one that gets all that stuff.
Oh, come on. I can't believe you don't have some.
No, I didn't. I have a story, but I can't tell you in front of everybody, but I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Or something.
Friday happy hour. That's the thing. Okay. So
yeah.
And it's kind of coming back to me. So we talked.
But I just told that person, I said, don't do it again.
Yeah. See, I knew it. Okay. Yeah, and Savannah and I will have that conversation.
No, I said I want the real thing. Don't give me no pics.
Yeah. Savannah knows what.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and Savannah, you and I need to spend some time alone to just talk about this stuff where I can warn you all about men. How's that sound?
Okay, yeah, before college.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, definitely.
And they've gotten weirder with
before high school.
Yeah. So, so coming back to Karen had sent me.
The best thing is just stay safe. You know, I'm sorry I'm interrupting, but I was just telling you the best thing to do is stay safe. Use your head, use your heart, but use your head and be careful. Be smart. Okay. All right, I'll shut up.
Don't trust any of them. They all suck. Some of the best advice I ever got was assume they're Gollum until proven otherwise. There.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah.
I think that's good advice.
And I hate to say this, but the stupid things
but
that
they're still adorable.
Only in the 1950s, you know, that felt like they were from the 1950s. I think they're true now. I don't want to agree with you.
Before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just beware of the guys that, and then we'll move on, I swear. Just beware of the guys that they come on to really, really strong, seem like they're good. They say anything they can't want, you know, they make you all kinds of promises, and then don't trust that, because those are the guys that are going to flake out or leave you or do weird shit, you know. So that's my take on it. Does anybody else want to weigh in on that advice for Savannah?
No, I would just duplicate that. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. How about you, Diane?
But also, I don't believe in trashing them. Just like I don't believe in them trashing us. Because a lot of men I don't even think they like women or understand women. And a lot of us think that. And of course, you know, everybody's at odds. They can be friends, and you know, I don't want to go without them, so I'm always going to have them in my life,
Mm-hmm. Well,
some kind of way.
That's a good point.
All right.
I feel like that about the men that I'm friends with. They're people, you know. Sorry, I have to
Yeah,
reword this.
that's what they are, and they're very sensitive. A lot of times, guys are more sensitive and insecure than we are, so
Yeah,
we're the stronger.
yeah, but I
But we
don't
can't
like,
let them know that, even if they know it.
yeah, but I don't like how they'll like use that to like uh, the, uh Diane, did you speak up or felt like somebody spoke up? I don't know.
She's being
No, I'm
awfully
just listening.
quiet.
I can't get a word in edgewise, so I'm just listening.
No,
She's being very quiet.
go for it. Please jump
And
in.
we know that she is not always quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so there's what I drew.
Yeah. So I'm
But
sorry.
that's not the drawing,
Usually I'm more focused than this. But before I move into this, Diane, do you want to add something or disagree or with or just say something different?
No,
Well,
I don't have any comments. I'm just waiting to get on with the art.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right. So last we talked where we left off was we looked at Karen had done this beautiful orange and grape piece. I felt like it was really, really very, very sensual, very, you know, had a real sense of like being able to taste
Aw.
the fruit, which was pretty wonderful. And what I did was I was looking a lot at the shadows. I really liked how Karen, and I'm just going to kind of paraphrase this to catch you guys up, and then we'll move forward. But what I liked was how she did the shadow. I like how she did the fruit, but I felt like she could do a little bit more with the shadows. And so
Yeah, I redid it. You know,
Oh,
the
yeah?
last one you saw,
Oh, then you
I
should. Yeah.
doctored it.
Then send
So
it.
there's another one besides that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you saw it on Facebook. I've gotten a lot of likes for that thing. People love that one.
It's great.
And
Yeah. And if I don't get it
yeah,
sent to me,
it's neat. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Never, I told them I ate it after I painted it. And
Mhm.
one of my friends, she says, did it taste good with the paint on it?
Nice. Good comment. Yeah, next time, if you could do me a favor, send me it too. I know, because I won't think to necessarily, I think I saw it on Facebook, but I didn't realize it was doctored. So what I did was I just made the shadows, I filled them in a little bit. We talked a little bit about warm shadows versus cool shadows. You'll see up here, there's a little bit of a swatch here that I pulled off of what was in here. And you can see how warm, look how that's like almost like a pinkish shadow, right? But when I went to use this pink shadow in here, just that's the line. Just kind of imagine it. It did not look right with as a shadow. So what I did was I made the shadows a little bit more cool. And there you can see where I use like more of a blue black with, you know, very faded out, very faint. So if I was using actual
Oh,
water
yeah.
with this,
Nice.
I would
Okay, I just sent it. I just sent it again.
Okay. All right. So I will pull that up real quick. And then I think I'm going to switch gears and go into Diane's cherry painting. And we'll kind of pop back and forth a little bit.
Okay.
So, and I'm in my email now trying to get through. And oh yeah, and Seb, let me know how it works for putting things into the Dropbox folder. Yeah. All right.
Okay, I don't have anything yet to
Okay. And let me know if you,
put in.
okay. And let's see.
There it is.
Yeah. Let me know, Seb, let me know if you have any
I think.
questions on anything. I know you're playing a little bit of catch up there. Ooh, okay. So,
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna put that in there. And then this is cool, we can kind of change, this is the old version, oops. All right.
I don't know. Maybe it's not any different. Maybe it's still too dark and stuff. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm looking at that. See if I want to try to make it the same size, as close as I can to the same size without covering it up.
Yeah.
I think, Karen, I think that's the same one. I don't think it's the. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
All right. Sorry. Move on.
Yeah. Okay.
You
No.
do, Diane.
Okay. All right. Cool. Now I admit we did bird walk a little bit into the whole man thing, but I was showing you legitimate technology on how to use AirDrop. So, you know, I guess I'm feeling a little bad. All right. So this is what Diane sent me. And Diane, I want to say, like, I think you're having a breakthrough with stuff. So this is, do you want to talk a little bit about this?
No, I just thought it was really fun. I enjoyed the process and it went really fast. It took less than an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I ate the cherries. I put the pits down at the bottom for you.
I appreciate that. So you cut these from your tree, right? Or or you were just being funny with me?
No, I'm just being funny.
You were funny. You
I
are
can't
funny.
remember anymore where I got them.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 different pictures that you sent to us as samples.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I put them together to fill the page.
Yeah. Yeah. And that makes sense. I like the composition. I believed it actually. And I like this. I like the sense of the roundness of the cherries. Shoot, is my internet freezing again? Yeah, let me reboot it here. And try this again. All right. So one of the things I liked was how you got that roundness of the cherries, and I feel like that's, you know, I feel what's cool about this is that the apple kind of was a good start for people, and now you guys have that concept of like really getting a whole, you know, the form coming through. And I like how you got the shapes of this and the wilty leaves.
Yeah.
You know, and the stems are also good. That's happening in a nice way. One thing I guess you could say a wish that I would have for this is, and I feel like I'm being kind of picky, is this where you, actually I'll change the color a little so you can see a little clearer. In here, the branch transition feels kind of a little awkward. Like over here, this feels good. Like how you're doing this, that's like, and I, you know, I admit they were kind of like these nubbly branches, and you got that whole thing with the stem. Wow, that's a long stem, but I believed it, you know. Probably this, I have a feeling your stem length is somewhere in between, a little longer than these guys down here, and I really like how you did these. It's like these are a little short and the ones at the top are a little bit long. So I feel like the truth is somewhere in the middle, like,
Yeah.
maybe around there would be something. But to be honest with you, you got away with it. Like it didn't like that. When I saw it, my first thought wasn't like, oh, you know, it's something that I just observed a little bit more you know, when I looked at it a little bit more closely. What I would suggest down here is do something to make, and this is more like for another time, but I know like how it worked with the with, how do I say this? I know that the branch is kind of stubbly, right? But it's not quite that stubbly. So what I'm going to do is show you kind of how it's, and I would also pay attention to, it's subtle, but pay attention to how these transitions happen between one branch to another. See how you did it up here with this sort of like little fork? That's working. And that feels, you know, true to what the branch kind of does. And I also like how you're doing these sort of marks wrapping around. That'll help you. And I'm not sure what's happening here, but you know. Okay, now if I go like here, the branch is going to get kind of, it will kind of end a little bit at a stump, but I know that there are these weird little like mini branches where the stems came out of, these little sort of goober branches, whatever you want to call them. And that'll just kind of give it a little bit more of a little bit more clarity, especially because this is really cool how you did the stems. And I'm really happy to see that, because you've got the concept really well and showed it really well of that whole like overlap, one thing underneath another. And oops, I didn't draw that too well, but you get the idea. Like, and that creates a lot of really nice dynamic, how you've drawn that. So yeah. And notice, you guys, notice how subtle this is. Like how she just, all she did was this line down here. I'm just going to make it a little stronger. Like just that little bit pops that one stem in front of the other. And I know that's like, seems really simple and basic, but it's real. Okay. All right. So.
Yeah, they look delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. Diane,
Eat them. Yeah.
Diane, do you have a paper or one of those paper stomps or those smoother kind of things?
Yeah, I do. I think I used it on that.
Okay. And then did you use like an eraser to kind of in this area to make it more?
Yeah, I used an eraser.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I feel like the texture, and what kind of paper are you using?
Whoa, I think this was another one of the smooth ones. I've got the original. I'll go look.
Okay. This feels like there's a lot of texture. Is Savannah still here, or did I bore her out of here?
Oh, hi, I'm here. Sorry, I was looking for pencils.
Oh, okay. All good. I was just like, what?
Yeah, it's a smooth. It's mixed media.
Okay. Oh, is it like a Canson?
Well, it's very smooth.
Okay.
It isn't like watercolor paper.
Okay. Because it looks like it has a lot of texture on it. I think the texture's a little bit distracting. I just kind of want to have it be a little bit smoother so that the texture of the leaves, which you did really well, and the cherries and the branches, you know, show up a little bit more. I think what I can do is just do a real like light smooth over so you can get a sense of that a little bit. Yeah. because I like how it's lighter around the leaves and the cherries and stuff. Like I think that's a good thing. Like, you know, and I often joke about like the Jesus effect of things, right? And I like texture, but maybe in this case a little bit less to make that to showcase your cherries a little bit more. And so all I'm doing is I'm just pulling the same color off the paper, you know, how you have it, and super quick. I mean, and super quick and super rough, you know, just going around it to kind of smooth it out a little bit. You know, I love texture, and I love these. This is really funny. I love that you did the pits down there. Diane, you totally had me. I was like, oh, she really did eat the cherries. It's like, just, no. You know.
You said.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. That to me is a little bit of what I would call X factor, which means like when somebody does something a little extra and cool and kind of adds that little unknown element to it. So this is without the texture. This is smoothed out a little bit. And in fact, I would kind of even maybe.
Yeah, I like it with less texture.
Yeah, especially because the texture of the branches and the cherries is so nice. How you did that, you know, to kind of, and you could do it like a kind of a slow fade out, like a little bit of a vignette type thing. I'm surprised you had so much texture off of it, knowing the paper that you're using and stuff. Is it a Canson multimedia pad that you're using? Is that the brand with the blue?
I'll have to go have a look at it, but maybe it was just my laziness of not getting enough graphite close together.
Aha!
You know, I was really hurrying. Susie was here and we were doing our thing. Hold on, I'll get the pad.
I'm sorry, Diane. Diane's not lazy. I'm going to give her crap, but she's not lazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Savannah's lazy, but not, no. No. Sorry, guys. All right. Try to make sure it doesn't freeze
No,
up.
it's Bristol.
Huh. All right. That still should be smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says Bristol vellum surface. I
Yeah.
don't know if you can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it is right. And Diane, I don't think you're lazy. If you were, especially if you were hurting and you were still doing art, you know, congratulate yourself. So please don't feel bad about that.
Okay. Congratulations, me.
Yes. You could
That
always
looks
make your
great.
husband.
I like it how you faded it.
You could always make your husband, the cat slave, do the smoothing for you. That would be legitimate.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah, he'll appreciate that. So yeah, so without the smooth, with the smooth. Okay. And I'll kind of move forward. Now this is something I so want to celebrate that you did this. I think this is I think a breakthrough. And I'm really, I mean, when we go back to the green monster painting that you first did to this, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Savannah and Karen, when Diane first, and I guess we've known each other for what, is it 2 years now? I can't believe it. I think that's right though.
I think so, yeah.
Because it wasn't last fall, but the fall before, Diane was in my Epic Skies class through Peninsula College, and that's how we met. And that's, yeah. And she did a painting that was just.
Yeah, it was 2 years because it was the fall, maybe summer, fall, just as I finished chemo that I started the class.
Oh no.
I don't think I realized it was,
And that was one of my, I've got to get myself together things.
yeah. Yeah, and I always felt like really touched that you made that commitment to that. As yeah. Well, and you,
Well, it helps so much.
well, it was fun. I mean, you were always, yeah. So okay, nostalgia moment. But let's get back to your painting because there's so much I love about this. First off, like here's again, Diane's doing what I call the X factor. In the background, she's put the cherry trees with a ladder on it, and that made me extremely happy. Notice how that she's really faded that out so it stays in the background, and it's something like, so to me it's like this happy memory, this happy summer memory type thing, that you let this, nothing's gonna, the cherries are the star of the show. They're not, nothing's gonna deal them away, but I felt like that supported it really nicely. Again, I feel like there's sort of a juicy, shiny feeling to it. I'll show it on this. And how how you're layering things is really working well. So like, let me put another layer on this. Oops, that's horrible. Sorry. Notice how like you use this white line to pop this cherry into the foreground, and that works extremely well, which is really cool because the cherry back here is darker, but because and normally the darker cherry would pop forward, but because her drawing and her highlights are really strong, she's managed to really kind of, she's very clearly saying this is in front and there's going to be no mistake about it. It's going to be in front, you're behind, you're almost like a school teacher telling how people should line up. You're there, you're there, you're there. Or a theater director. Theater director is cooler. Let's say theater director, so that's working super good. And the sense of the light on it is happening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really nice. Love it.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's kind of funny. You and I would say my wish would be, and this is ironic because this is my wish for my own painting. I just kind of didn't have time to do the leaves very well, so I just kind of let that go. I would say your leaves you've spent more time than I did. So I think you did a lot more effort to observe them than I did. I think in here with this one, it's looking, when I say this one, I mean this one, it's looking a little bit brownish. So using red in your green to make it darker, I think rather than you going for the brown, you might help it a little bit. So I'm going to just kind of play a little bit.
I had a lot of trouble with that leaf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And and I could do like just like a whole thing on, well, this week we're going to do the really funny tomato it's funny tomatoes week. But next week we could do, gosh, I want to do like shading. I want to do shadows next week and something called a cross gradient, or at least that's what I'm calling it. And instead of and I would also suggest for you, like, stay a little bit away from the white, or if you use the white, the Pro White, make sure use a little bit of green in there. Because I think it got a little bit chalky. Just a little bit.
Yeah, it did. At one point I had to paint it all the way out with a light beige and then go back after it again.
Mm-hmm. Mm. And that's probably the beige is making it look sort of, and to be honest too, the leaves were kind of,
Yeah.
the leaves were so on the photograph were really wilting out and stuff. Like, I feel like, let me kind of take the opacity down. That feels actually better on that. Because that's, yeah,
That's good.
yeah, it was too much before. So that's too much.
Very nice.
Yeah, even just that feels, that's even slightly less. So a light wash of a dark green and a dark yellow and a bright green yellow would, I think, help your leaves kind of pop forward a bit. Not sure what's going on with that one back there. It's funny, you got your cherries to behave, but not your leaves. You know, they're like,
This is true.
you know. So yeah. I would almost just leave this one out. Like, I mean, you can't really do that on the watercolor, but I'm gonna just so you can see, if you have an awkward leaf that is not really working for you, you can just leave it out. In fact, if you compare what I did to the photograph, you'll see that I actually left out quite a few leaves, even though it may be there. Oh shoot, I should have done that on another layer. See if I can do it. Yes, all right. There. Now it's like really hiding. Oops. There, that one. And just okay. Gotta blend. Woo, woo. All right. So with the leaf behind it, without.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, you could do that. That's nice. Lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. But really, Diane, this is, I think, been a really major breakthrough for you. I think this
It's
is,
beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that ladder too. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Wow. I
Yeah.
love imagination. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Karen, that's well said, because it's like, the nice thing about this is that it's a combination of the imagination and the realism. And so it's cool to see, Diane, it's really cool to see you being kind of, I don't know, opening up more and doing more kind of, I mean, I feel like you've always been pretty creative and really funny. So, but it's nice to see more of that coming forward, I guess, and more of your sense of humor. I think about
The more art lies.
Yes, you are art lying to me, darling. Well, I think about all the times, like, and I think Karen said it really well after, at our last happy hour, where she's like, oh, wow, that sweet little lady, you never think of it. Karen, do you remember exactly what you said? It was really funny. It was cute. Like, oh, I never imagined that this, yeah.
I don't know.
There was one time too.
Oh, wait, I sent you a text. I remember.
Yeah, I think you did.
Something about, I mentioned it.
It was a nice thing, Diane. It was nothing. We were saying nice things. Yeah.
I know you were.
Okay, good. I also think about that time, like, it was, oh gosh, it was when it was one of our it was in the barn, at the Natchez Community Barn, but you said something like, oh, well, I just like to rip out their tongue and kill them, or something like that. It was like, oh, and you said it so nice, but it was violent. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what it was exactly. So, all right. So let me go here. Yeah. So Sab, do you want to add any observations about this painting or any thoughts? Or I know you're multitasking a little bit. She's like,
No, I think it looks really good. Yeah, I've been trying to look around my room for things, so.
no, it's totally fine. Like I tell everybody, like if you want to just use the Zoom session to do art while we're talking about art, and that gives you a time and place to do the art, I'm totally fine with that. In fact, a lot of times Sharon does exactly that. So, and I don't get offended by that. So don't worry about that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, that's yeah, and actually that's one of the things I love about teaching this way is that it's not like the typical, setup. I think it's much more user friendly this way, So, although Diane gets a gold star and Karen get gold stars for doing their work. I'm teasing you.
For effort.
Yes.
Well, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When you do something, I don't know if you'd call that abstract or what, but it was realism and then not realism on the same painting. And so the cherries were, of course, not real. They weren't on a tree and they're just hanging up there. Mm-hmm. And so what do you do about shadows on these non-real things hanging up there? Because I didn't put any shadows in those cherries. Well, on the cherries themselves, but nothing around it that would read shadow.
Yeah, I guess the answer is you've got to, I know from my background, I just kind of let it be this abstract background and I didn't worry about it. But if I wanted to, I could have imagined it, let's say, in front of a wall, like a white wall, or even a brick wall if I wanted to put some texture in there, which I don't know. And so, yeah, if you look at a lot of botanical illustration, in fact, I could just do a quick, I'm going to just do a quick search for botanical illustration. Actually, let me do it. Oh, okay, yeah. And you guys can kind of see, but a lot of times botanical illustration just kind of floats in outer space, and they don't care about it. Sometimes I've seen some people put. There's a woman named Margaret Nee, and she creates a real environment with her stuff. I'll kind of look. Oh God, look at this. This is so pretty. It's not, internet's being a bit slow. So what they tend to do is just focus on the light and shadows on the actual plant, and then everything else is just floating. Let me see if I can, yeah. So this, yeah, to me, because about, and this dandelion one is a really good example, because what they do with botanical,
that's nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, waiting for it to load, but one of the purposes of this type of genre, I mean, it's really scientific illustration, is to show the plant at, I was hoping this would be bigger. They're like, no, we're not going to show it to you bigger because we don't want you to copy and paste it and steal it. Geez. So let me go back here. Okay. So if you look,
you can always take a picture of it. Load up.
Camera, yeah, but still, okay. But if you look at it, what they're doing is showing what would not actually happen all at once on a dandelion. So, anything from the dandelion in full bloom to when it has the the seed
Yeah.
pods and all that kind of stuff. And that's true of a lot of these. You know, this one showing a plant at all different phases of its life.
And where are those from?
I just did a Google search for botanical illustration, and these are just random images that I'm pulling up. Here's another good example of. It looks like it's. I'm not sure what's going on with that one. A lot of times you'll see like the seed, the flower, the bud, the different elements of it throughout its whole life cycle of the plant. But obviously you have lots of variations. This one looks like it was done from a herbarium specimen, which is basically they just press the plants and make them really flat. And, you know, those are actually important resources because, you know, they're the dried, flattened plants. And I don't even know, but I guess if they wanted to, they might be able to get DNA from them. I'm not sure if that's worth it but it does give an actual, yeah. And this looks like, to me, more of like a historical print. So did that kind of answer your question? Like, you can kind of do whatever you want with the background, I guess. Personally, I think it's interesting to do something cool with the background.
Yeah, but these are so cool on their own. I don't think I'd interfere with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Wow. Peaches,
yeah.
apples.
Yeah, and then this is cool too. These
So,
black and whites. Yeah.
oh, you said we're doing tomatoes next week or something?
Yeah, I posted it on Facebook. They were selling like just this really weird looking tomatoes for like 50 cents a piece. And kind of not thinking about it, I just grabbed the weirdest looking, not weird, not on purpose. I just was grabbing the biggest tomato. But then when I looked at it, I was like, it was such a weirdly voluptuous tomato. I decided to you know, that's going to be this week's painting, and kind of continuing to deal with the shadows and things like that, and color.
Good. I'll try to stick with it this time. You know, I sent you a bunch of stuff and I'll have questions at some point.
Yeah, and let me switch gears and get back into my iPad, and let's take a look at what you got and have you talk about it, because you did some really.
And what about Savannah? Something?
She's still playing catch up, so
Okay.
I'm working on something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
yeah, I was looking at that, you know, that door thing. It
mm-hmm.
looks to me like it's dancing. It's doing something weird.
Yeah.
I really looked through Messenger and I looked through our text, but I can't find out what I exactly said about Diane. But it was kind of like unassuming little lady that, you know, that you just think is very quiet and all this stuff, and then comes out with this huge story.
Mm-hmm. It was
huge story about. So I can't remember what I said. It was good, but it was in that line, that vein. Thought
it was good. I like, yeah. So speaking of good,
it's just like you never think of. Yeah. Oh, that thing. Yeah, that thing. Only you can see the shadows because when I took a picture of it, I had shadows on it. But yeah, that's what I'm holding in my hand. And that thing, I was going to start painting that other one.
Okay. So I like this one. I mean,
and it's a little bit out of line, out of whack, but yeah, it was fun doing.
Yeah, do you want, tell me what inspired you to do this?
I saw a picture on my Roku. My Roku has a screensaver. It has pictures all over the world all the time. Just keeps flipping through different ones after a few seconds. And I saw that it was like a door. It had a couple things on it, like part of a window, part of a door. And I took pictures of it, and then I decided to draw that little piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
I sent you that other, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other one was, I was looking for African art, and I was looking for turtles and things, and I saw that funny little guy, and I'm going to paint him. So I drew him out, and I'm going to paint that one next.
This is this guy.
And what inspired me was Sharon, yeah, that thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild colors.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I think so.
But what inspired me was Sharon's the Celtic drawing that she did.
Oh, God.
And so I wanted to get some kind of, yeah. And if I could find my portfolio, I do have one somewhere in the garage. And I hope I have old drawings and stuff. And there's some in there that I really liked a lot. And I would even try to recreate some of that, because they were little drawings of various pieces of like African art and figures and stuff. And it was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so I just thought like I wanted to do something with little figurines and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like the energy of it. And I also like the fact that, that I'm seeing with both of you guys is like how you're kind of breaking out a little bit, kind of experimenting with different things and feeling, and I think that's a cool thing to do with that. So, yeah, let me.
I mean, it's not totally symmetrical, and my picture is not spot on the thing, but it's, I just wanted to send you something
Yeah.
to show you what I was trying to do.
Yeah. Well, do you want me to show you on your doorknob here? I gotta reset it a little bit. Do you want me to show you on the doorknob one?
Yeah, you said there were ways to.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's
aside from using rulers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you don't always have to use rulers. Like in fact, I very rarely use rulers when I'm drawing or painting. So
I have another question.
Yeah.
One more question. And I sent you some when I was sketching in Port Townsend. I was having trouble with that wharf. So I'm going to do that. Chris has asked me to do it because she loved it that I was there doing that. And so I'm going to make a couple pictures of that with the boats in the water and the wharf thing.
Yeah, and in fact, in many ways.
So that, not today necessarily. But
no, I can do it today, because in a lot of ways, what's happening for this and for the wharf, it's kind of not exactly the same issue, but very close, like kind of related. So I think this is actually a perfect opportunity.
Angle.
Yeah. Okay. So what I do in my head, and this is really how it happens in my head, and I don't know why, but they are always in this color. I don't know if this, but I call it dropping verticals and dropping horizontals.
It shows up.
So what happens in my head is when I'm trying to get something symmetrical, I will be drawing this. This will go like this in my head. And when I do that, that's where you can see like, oh, I need to move this guy up a little bit. Yeah, and the same thing will happen here. I'll drop a horizontal, or sorry, vertical. And I'm just freehand drawing this. And then I'll do one from here. And then you can see like, oh, wow, this heart should be more centered in there. This is the center.
Right.
Of it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Then the other thing I'll do is not as often, but I'll do an X, and that will kind of give me the center point, right? And if that's the center point, then it's almost like the whole thing needs to scooch over a little bit. So let me just scooch that and see. But yeah, so now I've recentered it.
Okay, but when you say you're doing all that, is that with the digital stuff you do that, or how does that work? Because I'm doing all by hand, you know.
This is the first I've ever showed people that it only happens in my head. I don't, like, when I'm drawing from life on.
I forgot that thing.
Yeah. So I'm not.
Got it.
Yeah. So I don't. But all I'm doing is, and you can do it. You could. What I would say is, you could take a photograph, or take the photograph that you took already, and just play around with putting some lines on top of it. What's interesting to me is that your verticals are pretty good. And that's the other thing that happens as I'm drawing these in my head. They appear and they disappear, depending on if I need it. I don't know why my brain works like that, but I think anybody's brain could do that if they wanted it to. It's just a matter of kind of, another thing that you can do is just take your pencil and you can, look at the thing with this, and I should actually see if I can get somebody to film me demonstrating, but like,
I do that a lot when I'm measuring stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, and then your verticals are pretty good, but where you're kind of falling off, I'm just going to delete this layer because I've got too many lines. It's not helpful right now. Is your left right is where you're losing your symmetry.
Got it.
Yeah, so you can see
especially
that.
On there. And the legs, whatever those are.
Yeah, for some reason you're dropping your left side a little bit. It's just, but
that's because I've left foot drop.
I was wondering if maybe
I'm teasing.
Oh shit! Damn it. Okay, get my hooks up and just dash my hook. I was thinking maybe there was something. Here's another good one though for this one. If you want your heart to be centered underneath your keyhole, you drop your vertical down the middle of the keyhole. The heart's beautifully drawn, by the way.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and I will say this. Kudos to you for taking this one on, because this is an irregular shape. It's kind of hard to see stuff. There's a lot of little tricky things going on with it, So yeah, it's not an easy one, and I like that you rose to that challenge and that you tried that. So one thing I will say though, that you are doing good in your life for once. No, I'm teasing you, but no, but seriously, what you are doing is don't worry, you can make fun of my life all you want. You're really doing a good job of seeing the negative space. So I'm just kind of filling that in. That part you saw good. I know that's not grammatical, but that gets the idea across. Like how you did that.
So when my mother would say, you saw it well.
I know. I prefer done good.
She would correct me.
I prefer to say you done good. Because I know better.
Yeah.
I know better, but I like to
how about it?
My white trash roots,
It don't matter. How about that one?
Done good.
It don't matter. How about that one?
Yeah, it don't matter. It don't matter. Yeah. Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah. So there's now I've colored in. Actually, this guy is a little bit off here. These two, but overall, though, I think you did a good job with that part. Okay.
I could try it again.
Yeah, I think you should, because it wouldn't be worth it. In my mind, it wouldn't be worth it to like try to futz around and fix it. Like just,
No.
Yeah. Just be aware of your left to right, and I think you're going to be good to go on that. All right, so now I'm gonna get into your
Yeah.
work. And this is a cool one too. I kind of wish Sharon was here because this is something that I've seen come up with some of her stuff.
Yeah.
You know, there's, so let me hide these, hide the evidence. And
There's my fruits.
okay, so these are, I might need to delete some.
There.
Yeah. That was Susie's.
I've got more pictures I think I sent to you because
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was sitting underneath that thing.
Yeah, I loaded everything. I'm pretty sure I loaded everything up you sent me.
Okay.
But let me know which one that you want me to show. I know
That's just an extension of the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like just an initial feel for it because you can't see what I was doing, but I got hung up on the extension of the work.
okay.
That right hand part of it, it was bending a funny way. It wasn't like, it was kind of weird.
Okay.
So I couldn't figure out.
I can't quite make out too much of what you're doing there, so I'm gonna kind of.
I know it's very light,
Yeah.
and I screwed up, and then I erased it. Yeah.
So I think what I'll do is rather than going over this one where I'm not really sure what's going on, I think I'll just let's pick one of the photographs that you sent me, and I'll kind of demonstrate how, and I won't trace it because lately I find myself. Oh, and I love this picture of you by the way, so I put that up there.
Oh, thanks.
Was that just iced tea or was there something fun in there?
Iced tea.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it was iced tea.
Yeah, and that's true because that's I notice I get all excited when people go to restaurants and stuff. I'm like, what did you have? What did you do? Like it's suddenly like really novel to me. I guess I don't get out too much.
But the food was delicious. It's a place called Howl. It's in Port Townsend. Howl, Howell, and it was delicious. They had great sandwiches. Were awesome. Yeah.
Savannah and I had a nice little Port Townsend
There it is.
trip. When I picked you up that weekend, we had a little. Gosh, was that about how long ago? That feels like, was that a year ago or 2 years ago? It was 2 years.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember if it was my junior.
I
think it was a year ago.
Okay. Well,
maybe 2.
Well,
I don't know. I could be wrong.
Me a couple times. So, any rate, it was a while. But I remember it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's been a couple times you've come out, which has been awesome. And then I don't want to return you. All right. So Karen, is this the one that I should be looking at to draw?
Yeah, well, the other one is cut off. It doesn't have the building. This one has the building too. And I need to enlarge that wharf and see what the heck's going on with it.
Okay.
And I didn't spend that much time in it, so.
Yeah, do you want me to do this one instead, or just tell me which one?
Yeah, sure.
I don't.
That's cool.
I'll do whatever you want. So we've got.
That's an extension of the beach. If I wanted to work on a beach, yeah.
Okay. So should I do this one or?
I don't care. I just want.
Okay.
Sure. I just want to understand that wharf better.
Yeah, I'll do this one because it has kind of more to go off of.
I mean, I get roofs.
Okay.
Okay.
So the first thing I would do is, and you can see I'm kind of tilting the picture, and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so I can fit into the canvas, is I'm making it, the horizon line go straight.
Yeah, I can straighten it up on my phone. I can edit it and straighten it up. I need to blow it up too, just to see what's going on.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just start with that, and I'm gonna go do the horizon, and we're gonna pretend. I'm actually gonna make this a little bit bigger. I still want this as a reference photo, I'm gonna scooch that over a little bit. And what's cool is you're gonna see I can do this in about probably 5 to 10 minutes. So first
Okay.
thing, think back to Susie's fish.
Thank you.
Right? Oh yeah. Happy to do this. So think back to Susie's fish and notice like where your horizon line is from the top of the thing. So the horizon line I would say is about, you know, it's a little bit above the middle, whatever you want to call that.
All right. I have to interrupt a second because Myrna's coming in, but she knows I'm in class, so we'll
Okay.
just carry on.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm easy going. So the horizon line is about, you know, 60% up from the bottom. So starting with that, I'm gonna just lay that in. Okay.
Yeah, I would. I would have to straighten it out. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is where it gets a little bit weird and where you want to art lie, or I would highly suggest art lying. So as I zoom in here, notice that the wharf, and I'm going to go into my favorite cyan color. Notice that the wharf line here it's at a slight angle, but it's basically straight across.
Yes.
And then this is the other
Okay.
thing that the photograph is not showing, but is somewhat maddening. And is that you have, because I've been on this work, so I know what's going on here. I know what's going on for once.
Oh man.
So you've got.
Oh man. You can go out there?
Yeah. So from the, yeah, you can. So from
Yeah, that's what it's doing. You see.
it's like a, yeah, it's from the top, it's like a T, you know, so this part, I'll switch colors to the orange. Okay, so this goes from the building, let's say building, and then the cyan is the cyan, okay. And then, so if you look,
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes at an angle, but it doesn't, visually, it looks like all the same thing, okay. And also notice that as these things get closer,
Yeah.
those peers, they get bigger. Okay, so part of it is
Yes.
photograph.
I know that.
It's not just the photograph, but it's kind of hard to see in general. So I'm just gonna scooch this out of the way a little bit.
Yeah. And that angle on the far right was screwing with me.
Yeah. I like the composition of the photograph. Now that you kind of know that, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move those on the other side. Well, I'll do this first. On the other side, I'm going to kind of move the bank or the shoreline. I'm going to move that around. Okay, so these are so I'm kind of laying in these little guidelines that happen.
Yeah, I want to take photographs too when you do that stuff.
Yeah. So I'm making up a fair amount here. The other thing that's really tricky about this is, you know how I'm always going on about the dreaded triangle problem, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's happening, but not in a bad way, actually. And this way it kind of helps with your composition. So I'm going to do the triangle. So you got a big ass triangle, which is basically the water.
Okay.
Okay. How's everybody doing? You know, so you want to do that kind of wedge.
Bored?
Ah! No! Sav. She gets a D in this class. You're getting a D. You're never going to go to college. You're going to get a D.
What did I do?
No, you.
Oh, stop.
I know. Sorry, Karen. Sorry, Sav. You're not going to get a D.
That's okay.
I don't I don't have nor want the power to do that.
Liz she goes very quickly, so I just need to understand the angles on this wharf so I can draw the sucker.
Yeah. It's a cool painting. I mean, it's a good subject. It's a good, it's a good challenge. Let me go back into it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
And then
I could do it.
yeah. Yeah, and your drawing skills are pretty good. So I'm really not that worried about you with that. I'm worried about you for other reasons, but not this. I'm teasing you, Karen.
Yeah,
I'm worried about all of you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Boy,
Yeah.
I know. I want to walk again. That'll do it. Balance. Get balance. Oh yeah, there's the brick thing. I thought that would be cool to include that, but I don't have the proper photographs, so I have to ad lib some of it.
Yeah, well, that's where you art lie, you know? I mean, you could do all kinds of like fun, you know, hell, you could put a dome on it if you wanted to, you know.
Artistic license, eh?
Exactly. I mean, now see here with this sort of the bank on the opposite shore, I'm gonna, well, Savannah, this is the exciting part. It's not. Sorry, I fooled you. I love that looks could kill there. Let's see. That's just torturing Savannah. Just remember, we only hurt the ones we love. So you know. Let me. I'm gonna have to delete one of these.
I'm done soon.
Okay. Okay. So let me just. Sorry, I ran out of.
This is great. Yeah. See, there it is.
And come on, just.
Well, I'm taking pictures while you're doing that.
Okay, and we are
have it.
recording this Zoom session, you know, because I know that Savannah's going to want to listen to the
Oh yeah.
advice that we gave her. You know, just couldn't help myself. I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry, Savannah. And you're going to want
She's
to
just being quiet over there.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things that's kind of confusing is that this sort of bank of trees on the opposite shore is like running sort of amok with the pier, right? It kind of looks like sitting on top of it. So what I would do is move that around a little bit. Let me get back into here. And so what I'm going to make that into kind of a dark green.
Too much.
Yeah. So I would just kind of scooch it a little bit over here. I would move it down slightly behind it, and I would also move and make this edge on the top of it a little bit rougher, in fact. But I'd still want to keep it kind of a bluish tint, bluish greenish tint. Ugh, no. That blue is way too, like, wants to pop forward a little bit too much. And this one might be too much. Yeah, that's all right. It's not great, but it gets, I'm just trying to get the idea across. So, and I would fade this out, make it like really, you know, kind of faint, and have the drawing of your wharf. Think back to Diane's cherries and how Diane was able to kind of really get those cherries to organize and be like one in front of the other. You really want Mr. Wharf to be in front of your background. Now you do water really well, Karen. So, you know, have fun with your water. Like, ooh, all of a sudden, there we go.
Yep.
I mean, this is just
that's why I took a picture of the beach, or I had Krista go down and take a picture of the beach going the other way, just so I could get a better, you know, sense of what it was doing.
Yeah, but this is rough, and yes, this is extremely rough. This kind of gets an idea of like what that roughly
Oh, it does.
the thing. Oh, and then you want, remember your beach painting that you did? It was like a beach. It was really good. Um, uh,
Jetty? The jetty?
yeah, yeah, and how you did the sand on that
I
one.
did that. I did a beach jetty.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like how you did the sand,
Okay.
do it like that.
Yeah.
God, it's funny. All the shit I
Okay.
forget, but I like totally
Well,
remember
that's not-
the stuff you guys do, which is good because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Do any of you want
Thank
to
you.
add? Yeah, thanks for putting that out there because I think this is something that you're gonna. These things. I don't care if it's cherries or
It's gonna be
warts.
really nice.
All these things come up again and again. And it's a beautiful, I think it'd be lovely.
I'm gonna do it like this. This is great.
Yeah. And you can be really sketchy with it.
Yeah. Krista, she's bugging me for it. So yeah.
Tell her I said hey, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
I
So,
will.
Sav or Diane, do you guys want to add anything to what that?
For my wharf to be.
Yeah.
Well, I think you should do more of this kind of thing because it helps us understand how to develop a picture.
Oh, okay. And
Yes.
yeah, I'd be happy to, because I always worry, like I always tend to kind of skip over that a little bit. Well, maybe not skip over it, but like in my demos, I tend to go super quick because I'm like, oh yeah, I want to get to the painting, but okay, yeah. Maybe how to lay out a composition more. Is that?
I mean, that's
Yeah.
cute. What you did is really nice, just like that. That's cute. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
So
in the last 20 minutes or something of each session, you could pick something that you're just going to draw or, semi-paint like this for us to see what you're doing first and what your thought process is.
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, I would also say too, like, I'd be happy to find something, but if there's something you guys want to send me, that, yeah, that would be cool too, because I feel like sometimes I kind of get stuck with all I want to draw are horses.
also, I have a suggestion I've written to you. I don't know if you've seen it, but recently I wrote, maybe yesterday, maybe today. I think you should be in the video a little bit because I think your videos, as they get out there, you're doing these things. So maybe at the beginning or I don't know, somewhere in there so people can see you and then go on to do all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Just so you were there for a minute anyway.
I think you're right because
they're yours and you're part of it. And we hear you and we see all these things that you're doing, but we don't see you.
I'm a ghost in my video.
So
yes.
So there.
Well, well, and I'm glad you said that because actually my plan, I'm getting ready to film the demo tonight, to email it tonight as well, provided it uploads. So, but I think Diane had, on our last Friday happy hour, Diane had said, Melissa, you're hiding. And I was like, oh shit, how did she know? So
Yeah.
I was
Also,
an intro would be.
You don't know. I mean, something might go viral. Something might go viral at some point. And also that racism thing that you did, I think that's brilliant. And I think that it should get out there more.
Thanks for, yeah. And the racism thing, that is for public viewing. I want that to be out there.
I mean, just the way you incorporate the art and the whitewash to it and stuff like that. Oh yeah, that's a statement. That's huge.
That means a lot to me because I think that you're somebody who had such, I mean, you were married to a Black man and you have been involved in Black cultures in a deep way that most white people, including myself,
yes,
have not.
All my kitties would have been Black. Yeah, they're beautiful. Yes.
Yeah.
They were smart. I mean, these were people that were accomplished. My husband lived in Paris for 2 years. I just didn't want to go. I became an office manager in a law firm at that point, and I'm like, I'm not going to start all over. Mm-hmm. Paris with nothing, you know. But
Yeah.
he made it. He made it to being a sous chef and everything. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
he's black. He's still black.
so feel free to share that video, that, you know, and I think the links and stuff, you know, posted on Facebook. I'd be happy and honored to have that message get out there, because I feel like what that is such a drop in the bucket,
Yeah, that
but
was good.
at least it's something, you know.
Oh yes, it is. But it's something, and you're right, and that means something. I mean, I don't know, everybody's so mixed up now. Everybody's together, we hope. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, at this point,
Well,
racism is huge again. It's multiplied over the last few years, and hate crimes and the skinheads and all this has grown and developed. So, you know, when I saw something like you doing that, I thought, yeah, get it out there. There
yeah.
are people that really care. And that's why when the marches were going on, there's so many people, white folks out there with everybody. I would have been out there if I was young. I'm not young, you know. I'm like in my 7th decade.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
hey, Sharon.
Sharon
Oh,
just
Sharon,
Hey.
hi.
Hey,
Hi.
were you waiting a long time, or?
Can you hear us?
Hey,
Hi.
Hi.
hi. You're catching we're at the tail end of things, but I'm glad I saw your name pop up there. Were you waiting for a long time, or are you?
Yes.
Shit.
Oh no.
Shit. I was doing demos, so I didn't see you on there. I did film it, but yeah.
Good. So I get to see it. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, some good
Fast
stuff.
forward through the beginning part where I kind of bird walked and gave Savannah a lot of advice that she doesn't need. That wasn't so great, but so just fast forward through that. But oh man, if that happens, just please text me, because I can't see you in the waiting room when I'm on the doing the demos.
Oh yeah, that's what I do. I text you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I will totally grow. Yeah. So
That's okay.
Yeah, we missed you.
yeah.
Well, I missed you guys too. And I've just been sitting here hoping I would get in, like, you know, looking at crap on my phone and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
And all of a sudden I went, oh, there's somebody on the screen there.
Yeah.
I know, I had the same thing, because I kind of clicked out of the demo, and the funny thing too is I was saying, I just did a demo, or Karen had a question about a wharf painting that she wants to do, and I was like, God, I wish Sharon was here. She
Yeah.
is, you know, yeah. So
But it'll be in the video. And yeah, I'm gonna paint this picture. So it's a warp to be.
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing the video of this session. And whenever you get it posted, Melissa, that would be great.
yeah, and I guess at that point we're just going to wrap up. I know we're over time a little bit, which I'm like poop.
So on Friday, are we getting any new wines? I bought another one of those La Marca Proseccas in my fridge, but I love it. I never would have known about that. Thanks to Sharon.
Yeah. Well, my question is, if we do a Friday wine tasting, maybe we should do it next Friday, because that would give people a little bit more time to get it, because it's already Wednesday.
Time to get it. Yeah.
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 I think that would make it a little bit easier. How's that sound?
Sure.
You know, and I still need to reach out to Kathy Charlton and ask her if she's to catch you guys up who don't know, but like Kathy Charlton she was a winemaker who ran Olympic Wine Cellars, which is a successful winery in my area, and she wrote a book called Behind the Cellar Door. And I thought it'd be kind of hilarious to have Sharon and Kathy and Susie and anybody else sharing wine stories. So somehow we have a lot of wine enthusiasts, so which is fabulous.
I'm a newbie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never drunk much in my whole life. Never been into it, but and as Sharon knows, wow, really cool. tell her. to
Well, I'm
change.
glad you're enjoying the awakening of your interest in wine. That's good.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
And Diane's being very quiet with her lovely cherries. We enjoyed those.
Yeah, Diane did some beautiful painting. Diane had
Yeah.
a picture with her painting.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, which was
But I have to go
Yeah.
and finish dinner.
Yeah, we're going.
great,
We're
you
shutting
guys.
down.
Bye.
And it.
We'll
Thank
see
you
you
so
Friday,
much.
maybe.
And
Yeah.
I will see you soon. I'll see you Friday for our happy hour, I hope so.
Okay.
Shannon,
I'll try.
you're 18.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
All right, bye
Great.
guys.